I have an extremely hot take coming in 5, 4, 2, 1. Sendai Colony was amazing. I know, crazy thing for me to say, I'm absolutely wild, but it is true. It is probably my favorite fight in the entire series. Well, it's either this or Yuji and Todo versus Mai Hito. So Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3, the favorite child of anime. The finale, personally, the Sendai Colony fight, ticked all the boxes for what makes an amazing perfect fight that the other fights in this season didn't quite have. And by perfect, I just mean a fun one where I get goosebumps and can't help but just stare at the screen with a big smile on my face. Oh, and rewatchability, very important. I'm not talking about or focusing on themes, philosophical stuff, emotional impact, or something super deep, two characters, ideologies clashing, no, just straight fun caveman hype stuff. Like a true Jujutsu Kaisen fan. Now I might sound like the most unhappiest motherfucker on the planet when talking about the other fights, but that doesn't mean I hate them and they're all dog shit. No, that's not true at all. They're all good. They're just missing the tiny little touch that tickles my prostate like what the Sendai fight did. The others were an 8 or a 9, but Sendai got that extra inch for the 10. Much like Ryu after his fight, I am full after watching this. Overall, amazing season. The rules were a little alarming though, I have to say. I was in theaters for the first 2 episodes. Fuck ton of text in Japanese pops up, filled the entire screen like I just opened up an ancient scroll, damn near sent me into a heart attack. Anyway, first fight of the season, the animation is obviously fantastic, it's fucking great, every single episode is a priority episode it seems. Yuji and Choso's fight against Naoya. This fight's really short, nothing massive is happening, Naoya's beating asses, he did the thing to Choso, permanent damage to his reputation, everyone's pointing fingers and laughing at him. So here's what I'm looking for, and what makes a fight hype for me. I love it when the OST syncs with what's going on in the fight. When the OST kinda gets its moment to shine rather than just something that is playing in the background. Not to like the extent where every single beat is one hit like it's a rhythm game, but where there's occasional peaks. OSTs where there's a build up into a climax rather than something that is consistently hard. Example, like Naoya vs Choso right here, the OST starts off insanely hard. Bang. And then it stays hard, it stays hard, it stays hard, so maintaining that hardness throughout the entire thing. It's hard, 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 it's hard. While something like Impatience, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1, it starts off with like a little warning, and then it slowly moves into the hard part, and then it gets harder and harder and harder and harder. There is a very clear, distinct shift in the track. If you don't know what the song sounds like, it's the... It's peak. So 2 different structures, even though both songs are hard, I think. Also, I know my waveforms are pretty shitty, usually a song doesn't drop like that after a peak, but just for illustration purposes and to make the high pretty clear, this is a way better one since it's an actual song. But yeah, personally, I am a fan of this. The music builds up, hits its chorus, something crazy happens, like the fight starts or whatever it is, then another peak of the song, another big thing happens during the fight. Like right here, Gojo charges up his red and the music goes... A bunch of good examples of this from Attack on Titan, Chainsaw Man the movie Raise the Arc, and Jujutsu Kaisen Season 1. Attack on Titan has plenty because there's a bunch of big reveals, a lot of big transformation moments. Rhino's entrance scene, he comes in with the OST. I'm not gonna play it because they're gonna copyright claim my asshole, but it's Ashes on the Fire playing. I'm sure we know what that song sounds like. If you don't, here's the cover. Okay, yeah, no, there's no cover, but basically Reiner is coming down and he looks down and he sees the walls and he gets reminded of the walls in Pair D. And the music goes... Dun dun dun. Then the song slows down, it's the classic, the calm before the storm, so the climax hits harder, it's going to hit like a fucking speedster crashing into you. And he says, I fucking hate walls, then he cuts his hand and he transforms and the music goes, dun 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 dun. Well, it's not exactly that part of the song, but it's pretty much the same thing, and the point is, this is the perfect prime example of the jazz I'm talking about here, where it builds up into a payoff and it syncs perfectly with the action. Actually, all the action syncs with the music in this fight. Zeke screaming, the people transforming into titans, Reiner's transformation, he comes down, gets his arm blown off, and this is where the music takes a little dip from the high energy stuff to, oh fuck, he's cooked, his arm just flew right off. And then Galliard comes in, the jaw titan, dung 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 dung, amazing, and then we see him, perfect, just in time to save him. Then Zeke pulls up, picks up the bombs, throws the bombs, and the music that's been building up, it's about to go super hard, takes a dip. it goes silent for a bit. Then he hits the fucking bullets are flying back at him, the music erupts, and god damn, it is a sexy thing. Oh, and also the very, very final fight, when they jump off the plane onto the big Eren, the music comes in, Splinter Wolf starts playing, the vocals come in, and it was time to lock the fuck in. And the music syncs with Reiner's transformation again. This guy always has the coolest entrance scene. The soundtrack in the show is just fucking elite. Chainsaw Man the movie Reze arc had this in pretty much every single fight scene, and when it happens, I slightly calm my pants. And yeah, after doing a bit more research and looking for more information using this thing called the internet, it's pretty brand new, but you can surprisingly find some really good information on it, and I was able to find an interview they did with Mr. Kensuke Ushio, and he said that he used film scoring, a technique where music is added to the completed footage. New word learned, it sounds fucking cool, but that's why there's so many synced moments, and I love it, because he film scored. He's scoring the film. Or is it scoring the picture? I don't know. The more I dig into this, the more confusing it gets, it seems. When Beam comes in to save Denji, he starts running away, and the music shifts into an intense one from the creepy one when Reza bit his tongue off. And as he screams, "She's the bomb devil!" it zooms out, and we see Reza standing there, and the music goes even faster. It's beginning to ramp up. And once she pulls the pin on her neck and she explodes, the music goes absolutely insane, matching her transformation. And once she completes her transformation, the music kinda chills for a bit. And as she gets ready to go after them, she crouches, the music slowly creeps back in, it's charging back up, and boom, releases. But the music doesn't explode as she takes off. The music is still quiet. It's silent in the scene. We're only hearing the explosion. It is the classic edger, that way you're going to explode much harder. And then, we see it from her point of view, and she's going fast as fuck. And this is where the drop hits. The music starts blasting, it's like an explosion went off. These are the scenes I absolutely love. It starts off hard, soft, doesn't really matter, as long as it progresses into something harder and then it matches a certain action. Amazing. Denji riding Beam as they're about to jump into Typhoon. The music is slowly building up, Beam jumps up, and then we see this insane shot of the Typhoon, absolute chaos and madness. And the music kicks in when the scene switches to Reze with sparks coming from her fingers. Cinema. And this is another favorite. Reze appearing in front of Denji, she stands there for a bit, then the music shifts and she appears behind him. Denji's like stuck in this kind of freeze frame for a bit, and she's spinning in with the music pounding your ears, and the peak of the song is matching the action. The action in the Chainsaw Man movie is my favorite of all time, and I also just like the soundtrack of the movie in general. And the way the music is so loud too compared to the other sounds. Denji gets on Beam for the very first time and he runs around the corner to this chaotic scene of the Typhoon. The OST slowly drowns Beam's voice and it peaks as the scene switches. And also this part of the music is just so incredibly cool. Beam jumps backward into the Typhoon and after Typhoon starts playing. And the peak matches Denji pulling out his chainsaws. I can go on for days about this movie, all the OST is a blast. But this is a Jujutsu Kaisen video, I think. But oh my god, and don't even get me started when Maximum the Hormone started playing, dear fuck. The shitty audio quality, Aki smacks it, it flashes, the audio becomes crystal clear, it's loud, I can just hear it clearly, I can feel it in my bones. Oh my god, I'm surprised they haven't arrested me with how hard I ejaculated in that theater. It feels good to watch, it's hype. Now this one is a really good example where the music leads the fight follows the pace of the song. It's actually one of my favorite fights in Jujutsu Kaisen. Yuji and Nobara versus Eso and Kechizu. I know that sounds fucking crazy with how many good fights there are in the anime, but I mean as in how this fight was done. This fight, the build up to the climax and the syncs were fucking phenomenal. Remember, favorite OST in the entire series, bit of a caveman take, hype music, I clap. Slow, beautiful, majestic piano soundtrack that is just so good you can shed a tear. No, I think I'll go with the hype. No, I like those too, but season 1 had some crazy bangers. Season 2 went to like a more jazzy thing. I was neutral about it. Anyway, the two get hit with their blood. They're poisoned, they're losing, but they find a way to turn the tide. Yuji punches Kechizu, and the music starts playing. The two are fighting back. The tide's turning, the song's going crazy, Aizo's running in, the screen flickering on each beat. Yuji and Nobara, the back-to-back to swap targets, and then here, everything slows down for a bit. Aizo is running through the situation in his head. The music slows down significantly, it's the oh shit moment, what's their plan here, what do I do? And then he comes up with a solution, and the music's rising back up, we're about to get back into the action, here it comes, boom, cum block. No hype. Kechizu's dying. A slight pause, and it goes back down, the screen's black as Choso says something, and then we cut back to the two, and it fucking skyrockets. The chorus is blasting, hands are being thrown, it is so beautiful. The journey to get to here makes it such a satisfying scene. And can't forget about this part. After the ass beating, the action slows down for a bit for the song to kind of catch up, and then the scenes constantly switch between Yuji and Nobara on each beat, and then they both land black flashes. It was peak. And then the final part of the song matching perfectly with Nobara's final attack, the fucking snap. Also, she looks crazy good in here. Fucking hands-free orgasm, it is beautiful. I think the fights in season 1 were phenomenal. It feels like you're watching a music video. Put some respect on season 1, it was amazing. Demon Slayer also had this, a lot of people like to just talk about the animation, but season 1, episode 19, exact same formula. When the music's building up, the scene is a slow scene, and then once Tanjiro goes in, the music hits its peak, it starts blasting. Holy fucking chills. Rewatching this and it is peak. My god. The music. I forgot how good it was. But yeah, that's just how I like it. Some might like it more with the music in the fight, kind of supports the scene more, it's more part of the atmosphere or whatever else music does in shows, films, and anime. But yeah, the fights in this season didn't really have what I was looking for, except in the very last fight. The Naoya vs Choso fight, the music just goes. It's constantly pushing forward, like how Naoya is bombarding Choso with his attacks. I believe that's the feeling you should be getting from this. There's no pauses, it just fucks you. I am a fan of foreplay, and edging. Yuji versus Yuta, this pose is an abomination. In the theater, I really tried to understand what they were trying to cook up here, and I think they might have overcooked and fried out his testosterone. This scene of Yuji punching a car got removed. I'm devastated, season 3's dog shit, it needs a remake immediately. This was a really short fight as well, I didn't really expect anything too life-changing. But I think the sequence was done extremely fast in the anime. Same thing happens in the manga, Yuji's knife breaks, he gets slashed across the body, he keeps fighting, snaps his blade. But I kinda wish they lingered on this scene a little bit more like the manga, a bit more emphasis on the moves. The earlier parts are really good for the eyeballs, but nothing big is happening. Yuji having a little internal monologue, freaking out because of Yuta's immense curse energy, back to more orgasm. And then we get to the part where massive progress is made in the fight. Whether it be someone sustaining major injuries, the fight's coming to an end, we're moving to the second round, or whatever. It's like an oh shit is cooked moment, Yuji's doing the thing where his eyes widen and he freezes after getting caught with his pants down. But physical damage means nothing to him and he keeps fighting. And Yuta is kinda surprised to see this, is like, whoa, what's going on, he's still fighting, why is that? This is Itadori Yuji, fuck yeah, pain does not stop him. Maybe Yuji has a chance, the tide's turning, but then Rika appears and it's over. But because this part was done so extremely fast, you don't really feel the impact. Not the end of the world, it's really short. Third episode, Tengen put out all the materials needed for the presentation, sat us down, we started learning a bunch of shit, came out of that episode feeling like I got hit by Unlimited Void, and the next big fight is Maki's fight. A 28-minute special episode, Maki killing the Kukuru unit, it wasn't even a fight, it was just a straight up belt to ass, strap on, pounding their ass cheeks, it was a slaughter. Maki fighting the Kukuru unit captain in the hay was cool, some hype stuff. Now the OST here has that progress that I was talking about where it moves into a new part, the music kind of shifts, right here. And one right here as well. However, even with that, it's not hitting as hard for me. Like the music by itself is cool, I really love this part right here. But when it's paired with the fight, it's okay, you know, it's not something super crazy for me, which is basically how I feel about all the Which is basically how I feel about all the tracks here. Kind of the same feeling I had with Season 2 soundtrack, at least for the fight ones. Which probably explains why I like the Aizo part so much, because the song kind of has the same energy as the soundtrack in Season 1. Now, I know a lot of people love the soundtrack in Season 2 and 3. Well, 3 I'm not too sure, I haven't read much on it, but I know a lot of people love the soundtrack in Season 2 because it gives the show the identity it has right now. It's very unique sounding. It separates the show from feeling like a generic shonen. But slap my fucking ass, Season 1. Fucks. It went crazy hard. Crazy. Anyway, one thing about the scene. I can't take Junichi fucking aura farming walk seriously. This is the only real complaint I have. Everything else is just little things that didn't suit my palate 100%, doesn't matter, fuck me in the face, not bad, nowhere near bad. This is pretty bad. They made Junichi a full-on dickhead to his clan. Ranta's pissing blood out of every hole in his body, using every ounce of his power to hold Maki in place. And Junichi is just whistling, appreciating the weather, the blue sky, the fucking ground. Oh wow, that's a surprisingly round rock. Zero sense of urgency, and Ranta screaming, "Don't worry about me, Junichi-san, you go get her." Oh, trust me, he doesn't have a single worry about you. He didn't even know he was there until he said that and he looked back. At one point, it almost seemed like he's annoyed Ranta won't shut the fuck up. The manga is a different story. Ranta pops the ability, Junichi instantly reacts, runs in at max speed, notices Maki's fighting back, the eyes are cracking. So he looks back, what's going on? Is the kid dead? Then Ranta says a line, he goes through the script, "Don't worry about me, just kill her." And he goes for it. The anime, Junichi looks like he has fucking dementia, he has no idea what's going on, he just stares at her, he looks emotionless, almost like he's daydreaming. The more I watch this scene, the more angry I get seeing this guy just slowly walk. It's like, move! And now we get to Maki's fight against Naoya. Naoya looks fast, his technique is working as intended. The punches from Naoya look sick, and of course he had to pull out the Naoya special, free massages for all his opponents for taking the time out of their day to fight him because he respects his opponents, every single one of them, and is a feminist. Now one thing I dislike is Tengen explaining projection sorcery while the fight is happening. I feel like it kind of breaks the immersion a little. Personally, it makes the fight a little less intense. I don't hate the narration, I think it's fine, it gives information on techniques, to players and other things, which could actually lead to certain moments being more hype, it acts as a build-up. It's like smelling a dish before putting it in your mouth. I just think it could be placed in a slower scene. Also, the anime makes things so much more insane, they upscale all their attacks and techniques, well maybe not all, but like most of them. They had anime Naoya doing things manga Naoya couldn't even imagine doing. It's a literal hydrogen bomb versus moderately fast coughing baby. Like Naoya in the manga here, he slapped Maki's arm and only did a little U-turn before running straight into her fist. The anime, however, had him run around the fucking mountains or some shit, is going far as hell, comes back in at max speed, and still gets his face fucked. It is cool. Now this is a pretty cute scene. Then it's Yuji and Panda, Megumi Kirara, Yuji Akari. These aren't really fights, so I didn't expect some crazy mega banger. I wasn't expecting to jump out of my chair or something. Then they enter the calling game. Megumi makes his clan proud, Yuji fights the flying gang, really short fight, we're just going to skip over it. Now Yuji versus Higuruma. We get the Higuruma backstory, and the show just changed into a completely different thing. It became a movie. It was extremely nice. But I'm just here to yap about the fights. The main expansion is sick, with the sound of Higuruma constantly banging his gavel, loved it. His curse energy gets confiscated, and the fight starts. This fight is cool. Higuruma's doing unimaginable things, fighting like he has 200 years of experience. The animation, fantastic, done by Nian41, the GOAT. He's the guy who animated this amazing episode in Super Cube, a Chinese anime, made a video on it, and to be honest, that anime was straight liquid diarrhea ass. The only thing it had going for it was the animation. Anyway, sick fight, but narration. This part, I think most can agree, Tengen reading us a bedtime story while the fast-paced action is happening is not the most ideal situation. Same thing I said earlier, the fight just feels like something that's happening in the background, and the narration glazing Higuruma didn't really hit for me. It feels like two things are competing against each other rather than working together. Now you can say watch the dub so you can watch the show and listen at the same time, but for me it's not about that, it's more about highlighting one part at a time so that part hits harder. Here's an example of this, Yuji Nobara vs Choso's brothers, it's here again. Yuji punches Kechizu and Nobara explains how poison doesn't affect him because Sukuna is inside of him, and when she explains all this, we're just seeing flashbacks. And then she says if it's his pain, Yuji Todori will not stop, and the action resumes. This would be a wet dream scenario, but maybe they didn't want to cut away from the fight for too long, because a lot of words are being said here. But yeah, once the narration is over, and it's just him and the music, and he's going all out, smacking Yuji across the face, just throwing fucking hammers, just unleashing the wrath of God on him. It's nice. So it's a little sad the scene of a lawyer performing god-tier martial arts on a high school student didn't really get to shine on its own. But that's about it. Megumi's fight 1v3.5 because Remy decided to penetrate him from the behind. The hand-to-hand scene is a really sick addition. He does use a lot of his brain in his fights, which is pretty cool. And also, any extra Megumi content is always appreciated because spoilers, this may or may not be his last time to shine. But yeah, really like how gory this attack is. He kills him immediately, walks up, no hesitation, just slashes his face in half. It just shows that he's locked in, he will kill people, unlike Yuji, he's only here to save his sister. They come outside, the goat Takaba appears, saves him. This scene's really cool, Takaba scene's great, joke's so terrible the animators left. I think it's cool how they're just doing random things, they're just trying things out. You wouldn't really expect something like this from Jujutsu Kaisen. Sooner or later, probably gonna have like a real human being pop up when Takaba uses technique again. And Megumi chases after Reggie, he starts throwing out a bunch of random objects, and he uses a shitty, somewhat of a reverse curse technique. He just gave himself like a little 2-night time skip. So he runs away and lures him to the gymnasium, gets bombarded with all sorts of shit, ranging from a box of tissue, to a chainsaw, a couch, and a 12-inch golden dildo. But he pops his domain expansion, using the gym as a barrier for his incomplete domain. Once again, third time we've seen Megumi activate his incomplete domain expansion. Oh boy, I'm sure this is gonna lead to a crazy moment in the story where he finally completes his domain expansion. It's gonna be so cool, it seems like it has a lot of potential, man. And it's gonna be a sick fight against someone super strong like Sukuna. This domain expansion scene is pretty cool. The drawing up close, super nice. The camera slowly moves back. We see the hand sign, the music goes. And once the domain fully expands, Megumi's theme starts playing, it's like a remix. That shit goes pretty hard. This scene's actually pretty cool. Bit of syncing going on, you love to see it, or I love to see it. Megumi has some really cool scenes. I don't know why people are hating on him so much, I don't remember what happened in the manga anymore. Well, actually I do, Gege made him a bum, Gege is 100% the offender, Megumi's a victim, to be honest. Megumi haters are like Megumi's girlfriend, Megumi gets raped by Gege, and now the girlfriend is calling Megumi a fucking cheater, which doesn't really make any sense because Gege is the one doing all the bad stuff. If anyone's the real problem here, Gege is the criminal. Anyway, the fight came, and it's kinda confusing. Too much is happening. I'm looking at this and I'm wondering, what is going on? What is Reggie doing? Why is he constantly spinning? And Megumi is spinning as well? I'm just seeing multiple Megumis running around circling Reggie while he's breakdancing in the middle. I prefer his incomplete domain fight in season 1. Now the Chainsaw Man movie also had a couple scenes where the animation during the fight can get a little much at times, but when it comes to the actual hits landing, it's very clear, which is why I have less of a problem with it. Also, how cool is this fucking scene? Damn. Anyway, the hand-to-hand here is pretty cool though. It reminds me of the Chainsaw Man movie at the very end. Okay, now it's Sendai Colony. I stop crying, sucking on my thumb, wipe away the tears, take out my shit-filled diaper, and put a big smile on my face. 27 minutes of straight action, no opening. This fight took all the little complaints I have about the other ones and just assassinated them. Now obviously, my favorite part of the fight is the final part, when Aizo started playing. When I saw the teaser of the Sendai Colony and it had Aizo in it, I was praying they would use it in the actual episode. I feel like it complements the hype of Sendai Colony so well. So when the episode didn't have an opening, I knew it was coming. Anyway, first, Yuta fights Kurorushi. Cockroach curse spirit, I'm glad it's gone. Now this part, a lot of if not all of Uro and Ryu's reactions to Yuta's fight were removed. Don't really have any opinions on the change. This running scene is crazy cool, then he dissipates the swarm of cockroaches, he lands on the grass, this shot is also pretty sick, but then he gets blinded by balls juice. Kurorushi shoots eggs to his shoulder. Now in the manga, Yuta ran. He retreated after getting hit by this, and as he went to slice off the cockroaches on his shoulder, he got caught with his soft dick in hand and it blow to the body. The anime, however, made it look like he kinda just got bodied. He thought he could win in a sword duel against the big Kurorushi, and he got fucked. He went in and straight up just lost. Anyway, he made out with it. Uro's appearance is sick, love to see it, great voice. He gets blown across the place, and then the two talk for a bit. Uro engages, and there's no reason for this one frame, or all the frames here, to look so incredibly good. Then Ryu Ishigori comes in with the granite blast, separating the two, and Yuta immediately goes for him. He starts firing out multiple blasts. Yuta's doing flips, parkour and shit, then he sneaks up behind Ryu. Now the anime didn't show these panels of the manga, the dialogue was there but not the panels, which is probably a good thing for Yuta fans, because I can just smell the sneaky comments coming for him. So Ryu goes in, and Yuta gets his back blown out, the two continue fighting, hands are being thrown, Yuta is trying to smack him with a drying rack, then the fight continues into a train tunnel. Love this part. Yuta smacking his blast, and we get this really sexy slow motion shot right here. Ryu fires out a concentrated beam, Yuta goes to block it, but it melts right through his little rod, it goes right through it like a block of butter. Luckily, he's able to move out of the way at the very last moment. Really cool scene. He tries to stop the blast with his fist, gets blown out, and Uro, the goat, gives Yuta a second back shot of the fight. Hits Ryu with the thick cheese straight to his face. Then the fight moves into the second round. Yuta pulls out his ring, slides it on, and it's a 1-to-1 adaptation. The animators are tired of the people complaining about the angle, so they just went ahead and gave it to us raw. And now this scene, Tengen comes back in with the narration explaining about Rika, and instead of doing it during the fight, it's just flashbacks to Jujutsu Kaisen 0 combined with a couple slow scenes where they're just preparing for the fight. Lovely. Explanation over, and they fight. Over here, the anime gave Uro way more screen time, God bless, you love to see it. She's doing unimaginable things, she's shaking the city with her technique, things are floating, everything's hectic, it's chaotic, but at the same time, you never really lose visual clarity. The fight's pretty easy to follow, even though we're constantly switching from one person fighting this person to fighting another person, this person's now flying, yet there's not a single scene where I'm wondering, how'd this guy get here? What's going on? This was a bit of a problem I had with the Megumi Reggie fight and Sukuna versus Maharaga. I know people love that shit and they glaze it to the moon and back, and I think it's deserved. I mean, the animation is fantastic, but I have to admit, there are a few moments where I'm kinda lost, where it feels like the fight's a little chopped up. It's not as easy to follow as this. Anyway, I don't want to get too political here, but this fight feels good. Uro having a little 1v2 moment, slams Rika's fist into Yuta, and here she uses her technique in a very cool way, bending things around her so she doesn't slam into them. And Ryu, circling his fucking beam around him, is a really sick addition. Yuta slides into the ring, they start fist fighting, Uro spotting Rika, and then she pulls her down to the other two and slams her thin icebreaker on all three of them. It was nice, it was extremely nice. Uro blocking Yuta's fist is sick, Ryu 1v1s Rika for a bit, he explodes out the roof, and then it comes to the domain expansion. Three-way domain clash. Another extremely good 1-to-1 adaptation straight out of the manga, every manga enjoyer's wet dream. A three-way domain, never seen before, a first of its kind. What's gonna happen? No one knows. What about Gege? Does he know? Absolutely not. Well, let's find out. Except, we're not gonna find out because Kurorushi fucking says so. Comes in, ruins the entire thing, and I'm pissed. A fucking cockroach. The black devil of the modern age. Okay, what can you say? He's the fucking goat. So the domain collapsed, they all fell, Yura's utilizing a sneaky passive to sneak up behind Uro and kick her, but she dodges it, Yura loses balance, falls over, and one-shots Kurorushi. You love to see it. Now we get to my favorite part of the fight. So Yura initially wanted to cheese him with a quick release, but after looking at him, he decided to help Ryu fulfill his hunger instead. And thank God he did that, because now we get the scene. Yura stares at him, hits him with a weird looking smile, and the music kicks in. They stare at each other. The music goes silent for a very short time. They lock in. Fuck yes, I said as I got up and said, fuck yes. This scene, the fight follows the pace of the song, and it was sexy. Explosion, and when the song slows down, so does the action. Yura's running in from the side after Rika shoots her beam at him, and since the song is now in its slower part, the action slows down as well. Nothing big is happening, Yura's just running, Ryu's having a little internal monologue. He goes, after the main expansion and a meal with me, even you couldn't have recovered that much. Then the scene switches to focusing on Ryu and the music's beginning to ramp up at the same time, and the camera zooms in on him as he's charging up the granite blast, syncing with the music charging up to its chorus. The music's going, hold on, I'm gonna serenade your eardrums. Ah, yes! It's going faster, it's syncing its peak. And at the peak of the song, it syncs with him releasing the granite blast. Again. Oh my god, I just came my pants. And then, Okotsu's technique has recovered. So he uses Uro's technique to bend the blast and throw it upward, throw it into the sky, and it syncs with the music where it goes da 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 da. And something really cool is when you make that noise, or like when you're singing that part, I'm saying noise like you're an animal making noises, but when you sing that part, your voice obviously has to go up. Like how Yuta is throwing the blast up into the sky. Holy peak. It is just so good. Then the music dips again as Ryu's hair falls apart, and you get the point. Yuta slams him with the icebreaker, and another very sneaky play from Yuta. He moves his fist in a downward motion to pull the blast back down, but it looks like he's doing it so Rika squishes his head. So there's no way Ryu could have seen his blast coming back at him. And he goes in with another thin icebreaker, but the timer has run out. 5 minutes is up. So then they just fucking throw hands all out, just standing there trading blows to the head, and we get the panel of the two. The music slows down, and I really like this part where you get a little break from the super hype moments. You kind of get to digest all the stuff you just saw. It's not just go, 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 go. It's a little checkpoint. And also I just love the fucking music. He was talking about desserts, cakes all over my screen, cameraman's gliding across the table, massive fucking cake spinning. The two are just beating the fuck out of each other, and with each hit, the desserts are being bitten into one by one, filling Ryu's hunger. It can't get any better. This fight is just hype, hype, hype. Then Yuta Okotsu holds him in place. The blast comes flying back to his head. It completely fries him, and the fight ends. The music comes to a close, with all the plates empty. It's perfect. It's everything I ever dream of seeing. Not only did Aizo make this scene cool as hell, but the scene also made Aizo cool as hell. And every time I listen to the song, I just imagine this fight playing in my head, and it just brings a tear to my eye. Also, Ryu's beam in the anime is crazy. It made like a massive crater, like it's been hit by a meteor. In the manga, the beam was about the size of him, it was way thinner. Yeah, this fight is my favorite in the entire series. Maybe it's still a very, very, very close second to Yujin Todo versus Mahito. Holy chills. Yeah, no, it's not beating this. Yuji with the Black Flash is at the very top. Nothing can beat it. Anyway, shout out to all the artists on Twitter for drawing Toph from Avatar The Last Airbender. I've never watched the show, but God bless.